If I had a stuffed dog that was stood up, I'd put one of its legs in a bucket, then I'd always know where that bucket was.
What do you think? Bob?
I can break an apple in half with my bare hands.
David's team.
What is your technique?
I take it in the hands.
Yes. Are your hands bare at this point?
Of course they're bare.
Yes.
Friction's very much part of this this equation. You must pull it, I'm going to say east to west. A lot of people think you need to twist. You don't need to twist.
You don't need to twist.
Really?
You just
don't need to
pull
twist.
apart.
Pull it apart.
How do you get the
Pull the
grip?
apple apart?
Won't your hands just slide away from it? I'd have thought you'd need to twist.
If you twist, you fail. Twisting equals tears.
So you just grip the apple in your hands and then fling them apart, and you have two half apples.
No, I rip it apart.
Yeah.
The way you were miming it then, there's like downward pressure from the thumbs, almost as if you're trying to open it like a book.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like? Because I can believe that more than the just grip, bang!
Yes. No, David, that's fair enough. Yes,
It's just you're almost like you insert.
Oh, but I so wish it was bang. It's not.
No, you're inserting the thumbs to try and pull it apart that way.
No insertion.
All right.
No, but
But
that's
downward
the grip.
pressure.
Downward pressure, and there it is.
So where are the thumbs? Are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
You know where the thumbs are, David.
Where are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
Yes.
No insertion or penetration. Just
No, absolutely not. No, the thumbs are used for gripping, not for ripping. That's what I was taught. And if you remember that,
The system comes with a catchphrase.
if you can remember that, you too will be parting apples.
How long have you done this for?
I have done it for a long time. What I used to do to entertain was I used to take hard-boiled eggs, peel them, I can still do it, and I could take the shell off in one. And you actually peel the membrane rather than trying to... Don't be all rough-handed and don't, you know, take your time. Off it comes bang.
And when did you...
That's the correct way to present. With an apple, it's this.
When did you first discover that you could do the apple? How did it come about? How did it come to be?
I can't remember the first time I did it. I can remember the feeling. But I can't remember the first time I did it.
What was the feeling?
The feeling was magnificent.
Right, David, is that the truth?
I don't think so, but it could be. Can we leave it at that?
Yeah, that's fine. OK, on to the next round. No, we can't.
I agree with that. I'd love to see him. I hope it's true because then they'll make him do it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it.
Yeah. If it's not true,
Make
will
him
they
do
make
it
him
anyway.
try?
So what's it going to be?
Oh, I really want it to be true, but it isn't true, I don't think.
You can't pull an apple apart, can you?
You can't just rip it in half. I so want you to be able to.
If you and I can't, sure.
And I can't.
I've never tried.
Have you ever tried?
If I had an apple here, and I can have a few
But I think
goes.
if those two can't do it, David, with no disrespect, it's highly unlikely you're going to pull it off.
Tremendously, frighteningly strong hands, as I found out to my own cost. So you think it's a lie, then?
I'm afraid I do,
OK,
yeah.
well, I'll go with the giant.
You're going to say it's a lie? All right, you're saying it's a lie. Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes. Well, guess what I've got under the desk? My trusty box of apples. It's a proper apple. Ready,
Yes.
Bob?
It's a big one.
Thank you. Not you, him.
Does your husband play cricket?
I love that sort of thing. Where shall I do it?
I really hope he can't do it.
Bob, you're first up tonight.
Thank you. I once set fire to my house with a box of fireworks.
David Mitchell's team.
Was this on purpose?
It was done out of ignorance.
What age were you?
I was somewhere round about 7.
I want to know where you grew up, where a 7-year-old can buy a box of fireworks.
I bought them in the shop near where I lived in Middlesbrough. It was a box for 2 and 6 of standard fireworks. That was the brand.
Standard brand. That sounds exciting. Standard fireworks. Yeah. A normal level of excitement will be endangered. For a bonfire night, you will forget.
But it says standard, but then it's...
Well, that is standard for a firework.
So you're in your home, and you're 7 or 8 years old.
I'm 7 and I'm on my own, yeah.
On your own?
Yeah, and
What happens?
on one of the fireworks, I think it was the sparklers, it said, not suitable for indoor use. Which, at that age, makes you think, that means they're OK.
Could you just not read the word not when you were obeying?
Did you think not was the brand? You go, oh, lovely. I love that not brand food. It's not for human consumption.
No, that logic that says, well, people have obviously tried them indoors.
I've discovered they're not suitable.
Yeah.
So therefore, I won't use them indoors because I want to live.
If you look at a big firework, it won't say not suitable for indoors. It's obvious.
Yeah.
Right.
But on the
not
sparklers,
everybody.
they chose to put it on.
So what happened?
I lit the sparkler. The sparks went into the box of fireworks, a standard box, and set them off. And I carried the box of fireworks, now beginning to light, into the kitchen, and I threw them into the kitchen. I thought it would be more suitable.
I think you're right. The kitchen of all the rooms is the most suitable for fireworks, isn't it?
Because of the oven, the gas, the stove. There is fire naturally in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's a lot of... And it's more wipe down.
Yes.
Less cloth.
So what happened then?
They went off in the
What was the sound like? Was it bing, wee?
No, these were only standard. And, I remember, as I'm sat here now, wiping the scorch marks off the floor and thinking that my mum's going to kill me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be in big trouble. Then I went back into the living room. Unbeknownst to me, I dropped one. And the living room was completely engulfed in flames.
It sounds to me that if you're on your own at home at 7, your mum's pretty laid back anyway.
She said, son, will you sit here and look after these fireworks? Whilst I go out to the bingo.
So, you lit the sparkler. A spark went into the standard box.
Yes.
The box starts to go. You go, uh-oh, I must get them into the most suitable room for fireworks.
Yes.
The kitchen. No need to go beyond the kitchen to the outdoors.
Yeah. Mum said don't go out.
It's good to know there was at least one rule in your house.
What time of day did all this happen?
This happened mid-afternoon.
Oh, dear, so you didn't really get the benefit of it.
Who put the fire out?
I went to next door where Miss Best lived. She was, bless her, she was about 80. And I knocked on their door and said, my house is on fire. And she said, do you know, I thought it was.
So what happened then?
She called the fire brigade. They fired their water hoses throughout the house.
Yes.
Ruining it.
Even the rooms where there's no fire.
Not ruining it.
Yeah.
You do know that before they put out fires, it's already ruined, don't you?
Lee.
You're making this house all wet. It was lovely and warm before.
And it's the water damage that knackers the house.
Is it? Not the fire?
Not the fire. If they would use their boots to put it out. Honestly, the entire house, that's it. I was in a family of 4 children, and we were homeless.
Where? Come on, keep it light.
No, I'm just saying.
Where were all the other kids while you were alone with the fire? Why did you take 3
They
children
were looking
out and
after
leave
fireworks in other people's houses.
So when you say you were homeless, how much of the house did the inferno claim?
It's gone. Entire
That's
house
what, the
gone.
whole
Whole house gone. Yeah.
The whole house
Whole
burnt
house
down?
burnt down.
So how much did you leave in the living room? The fireworks in the kitchen have only caused a few scorches.
Yeah.
What did you leave in the living room?
And now, don't you feel stupid for saying standard fireworks?
Yeah.
I tell
Not
you,
really.
well,
I think you were stupid to light a sparkler indoors.
If you don't know what you dropped
Yeah.
in the living room, is there a chance that it's just a coincidence?
No, it could be.
That it might not have been your fault?
That's what I said to the press.
Your fault?
Press? What press? Who did you speak to?
Local press.
Because they came to the house while it was burning?
Yeah, you know, they're their hats on, trilbies, sniffing around.
With those little bits of paper in the Were they called things like Scoop McLean?
I believe he was called Ron Waffle.
Sorry, Ron Waffle?
It was either him, the other ace reporter on the Gazette was John Caramel. It was one of them two.
Caramel and Waffle.
Honestly.
The question is whether you think Bob has been telling the truth.
Well, I thought it seemed very plausible until we heard about caramel and waffle.
I think he thinks he's telling the truth, but I think what's happened at some point, he's seen a film in which this has happened.
It's so backdrop.
And is now convinced that it happened to him. I think it's a lie.
Sarah.
I was going to say I want it to be true, but that sounds really horrible. I think it might be true.
Well, I think it's true. I think it's true.
So you're going to go for true?
Yeah.
OK, Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Bob, remind us of your allegation.
When we were at school together, we hid a dictaphone machine in the ceiling tiles to interrupt the lesson.
So not to record, but to play stuff?
Yeah.
What sort of stuff?
Well, it was important to keep a gap at the beginning, so we let it run for about 15 minutes. And then there was the noise of a fly. For a brief period, then another period, to confuse the teacher.
Where would you get the noise from the fly? You'd make the noise.
We'd make the noise ourselves,
Let's
I'm
hear
not
your
paying
fly
for no
noise.
fly to do it.
Let's hear your fly.
You know,
It does sound like a fly.
Can I hear you bee?
we didn't do a bee.
Do you know how to do bee? Just like that fly.
Oh,
A
no,
bit louder.
it's more wholesome if it's a bee, isn't it?
Show me the difference, David.
Well, I don't know. I'm not...
Do
well,
it.
I'd say, OK, a bee would be a sort of a foot...
No, that's a
Whereas
bumblebee.
a fly is
Yeah. Very good. That's good. Very good.
Right.
Do you see the way he just slipped straight in and out of character?
So you
So yes, there
hide
was
it.
silence,
Yeah.
then a little bit of fly, silence, a little bit of fly, and then quite loudly, but not to frighten anyone, the word wolf. Then more silence. A bit more silence. Then
Yeah.
Speedway Stadium. Like that.
Speedway Stadium.
Do you know, the idea was just to say kind of random things. He was a really nice teacher called Bill Whitlingham.
How did Bill Whitlingham react to these random sounds?
Well, Mr. Whitlingham left the room and said, "Can you sort this out by the time I've gone back? Can you sort whatever it is that's going on?" And there was a cupboard in the corner where, interesting, it had like exercise books in it, pens and that, but it also had, in a little cage, a hand lion, which is a robotic, it's a battery-operated thing.
Are you just saying any word that's coming to your head? In any order?
It's a hand lion, and if you've been-
hand lion?
It's a robotic, animatronic hand lion, yeah? And if you'd been particularly good, he would put it on your hand and set it to lick it. Lick it. If you'd been particularly...
Was this like a clockwork lion?
No, it was remote control.
It was remote control?
Remote control. He had the controller in his desk, and he said, "You've
the
been
actual
such a
hand
good boy.
lion-
Get out the hand lion, and you'll get a lick." And if you'd been bad, you put him on your hand and you strike. You'd strike at your
So,
hand.
so the hand line had two settings. It could lick or it could strike.
Yes, good boy, bad boy.
Right. Very
Good boy,
sensible.
bad boy. Now, the only problem with it, of course, was...
What, this story?
It would... The only problem was, of course, if the batteries got low, it would get constipated. No, anyway, but in this cupboard, so we got up on the cupboard.
You climb onto the cupboard that
Yes.
the hand lion is housed in.
Probably asleep.
Right, you reach up onto the ceiling tile,
Take out the dictaphone.
switch it off.
Yep.
Mr. Whitlingham
Yes.
comes back in.
Yes.
What happens?
He's nervously awaiting another, edict from above. Doesn't come, we carry on with the lesson. British government and politics it was.
There was a
what
lesson called British Government and Politics?
Yeah.
Whole year on that?
2 years, it was A-level.
For these sixth formers,
Yes.
a hand lion. A hand lion that can either lick or strike was what was used to express praise or the opposite to these 17 or 18-year-old students.
And it was very effective.
David's team is Keith, Bob's classroom prankster, David's blanked buddy, or Lee's hawk handler.
I was believing Bob until the fact that he was 18 and the hand lion. I'm leaning towards David.
I think I'm leaning towards David.
I think
Ridiculous.
it's Bob, and I think he panicked because he knew we were onto him, so he went on a ridiculous riff about a hand lion to throw us off the scent. I'll go Bob, but I've been wrong before.
Sarah?
I'm going to go David.
We'll go David.
You're saying David.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, please reveal your true identity.
My name's Keith, and Bob and I recorded voices and hid the dictaphone in the ceiling.
Yes. Keith is Bob's classroom prankster.
I would never have believed all that stuff about a hand line was completely true.
The police once ordered me to leave town, unspecified, because I was frightening the locals.
David's team, what do you think?
Could you give us some context, Bob?
I'll give you the name of the town. It was Castle Douglas.
Where is that?
It's southwest Scotland.
And why were you in Castle Douglas?
Was
it a tour or something?
No, it was a long time ago. I was only 17, 18, that kind of age. And...
A numerical age, that kind.
Yeah.
Rather than iron or bronze. That's a different kind of age.
I was with two friends trying to get as close to the Gulf Stream as I possibly could.
What? What do you mean you wanted to get close to the Gulf Stream?
It seemed such an appealing, far-off, miraculous thing, this hot stream of water so near us, that it was hard to believe in it just from the textbooks.
But it's not like a spa. It's,
No.
it's a massive flow within the ocean.
Yeah, but
you can't see it.
Well, if you're at the Logan Botanical Gardens...
Well, there's a lovely view of the Gulf Stream.
No, but you can see the effects of the Gulf Stream. You know, it's like a tropical gardens, and so in that way you sense the influence of the Gulf Stream. Well, no, it's extraordinary.
I know all teenagers are absolutely mad on the Gulf Stream. They can't get enough of it, and it's...
And flowers.
But
that was one reason amongst many.
But the police of Castle Douglas don't mind the teenagers who will flock there to admire the effect of the Gulf Stream. So what was it that you did that put their noses out of joint?
We scared the locals, apparently, because we were wearing very grotesque masks.
Why were you wearing masks? If you're going to gardens, why would you wear a mask?
Ah, well, here's the thing. That's a perfect question.
Yeah.
Just before you answer it, have a minute.
we were travelling in a Morris Minor, and we were sleeping in the car. There was three of us. There's me mate Harry Harriman and Steve.
Steve Seaverman.
No, Steve, by the way. He was... You just called Steve, by the way.
Steve, by the way. Steve, by the way, as in incidentally.
Yes. Anyway, we had these...
You're wearing these masks.
We're wearing these grotesque...
Why are we wearing these masks?
We're wearing these masks because we didn't have anywhere to sleep and we were sleeping in the car.
Right.
They'd been given us by Harry Harriman's mum, yeah, to keep us warm at night because of the heat generator.
What, latex, grotesque latex masks?
Yes. They were just old men's masks, but they were to keep us warm. Harry Harriman's mum she sold these stuff from home, and she sold another thing which was called a jobble top, yeah, which was a bobble hat that made it into a jumper, and the big bobble was at the back and it buttoned down the front, and that was.
I'm telling you now, right? If this is a lie and they end up saying lie, I will say to you, why did you make it more difficult for yourself? by mentioning the joggle top or whatever it was called.
Because I'm imagining my sleeping arrangements and think, yes, we had the latex masks on and these giant, like, what they're called jobble tops.
Right,
okay. So, if you're wearing a sleeping mask and you're scaring the locals, like, normally the locals would be in bed when you're going to sleep, and it's dark, and you're in your car and you got a scary mask on, you know.
No, we were just... on our daytime drive from Dundee to Castle Douglas...
With masks on.
As we went past
Keep
people,
your faces warm.
we were staring at them with our scary masks.
Why did you not remove... Because I would say, from my experience of sleeping all night in a classic car in a latex mask and a jobble top, you get quite clammy. And so in many ways, it's quite a relief to take the latex mask off for the next day's drive.
Yes, and
Dave, not to mention how it helps being able to see where you're going.
Yeah. But no, of course, we take the mask off in the morning, but then round about midday, you wanted to put it back on.
Yeah. At what point did the police get involved? Didn't the police get
We
involved?
parked up in Castle Douglas, right next to a shop, because we wanted to get one of their famous Scotch pies. As we came out of the shop, I was grabbed by a policeman, and it was a sergeant, by the way.
Sergeant, by the way. So that's how you got away with it, because you said, don't worry, that's my dad.
Maybe it was.
I'm a sergeant, by the way. I think Daddy!
So the sergeant,
by the way,
he took me to the police station, and
So he arrested you?
Yes, taken, put in a room, and then the sergeant and a plainclothes detective came in.
Plainclothes detective?
Oh, yeah.
What has she done?
CID have now got involved.
And then they said, you're going to have to wait here. We've sent for a specialist from Edinburgh.
and then, as we sat in, it came in and said, right, what's with the funny faces? They said, what's with the funny faces?
So what did you say?
Well, we explained what had happened, that we had these funny faces, that we slept in them, and that we're terribly sorry to have caused any offence.
So presumably then they released you?
Sergeant, by the way, followed us till we were out of the city limits. So that's my story. It's quite a holiday.
What do you think?
I know what I think.
What do you think?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
That's not what I think. Cian, what do you think?
I'm going to go untrue.
OK, Cian's going untrue. Adil's going true. David?
My initial reaction is it's a lie. Let's say it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie?
Yeah.
Bob Mortimer.
Yes?
Was that story true? Or was it a lie?
It was true.
Yes, it was true. The police did order Bob to leave town because he was frightening the locals.